Dear my fellow Americans, I stand before you with a crisis unparalleled to any enemy and any war we have ever been in. Our nation faces an energy crisis that we need to solve. We have not seen such horrendous numbers since 1973. Our embargoes on oil have shot up 350%, skyrocketing our gas station to absurd levels for the everyday American. To import oil for our use has skyrocketed almost $40 per barrel, more than doubling in the past year. This is not only within the oil consumption, but across the board, including electricity. This new deadly foe to our economy is from the rise of an Iranian revolution across the sea. To combat the aftermath of this revolution in the midst, we need to come together as Americans. We need to understand that this Iranian revolution is hurting our economy. To be importing our barrels for $40 is highly absurd and will ruin our economy and send us into another depression. We as a nation need to learn how to conserve our energy. We need to be better and smart on how we use our energy and how much we use. Instead of relying on foreign nations for oil, we need to depend on our own and what we can produce within our nation. Just a few decades ago, we went from the nation the world depended on to help erase the evil Nazi regime to a nation depending on others just to run our everyday appliances. This is not only affecting our foreign relations in the Eastern Hemisphere, but it's ultimately destroying our economy. Energy will be the immediate test of our ability to unite this nation, and it can also be the standard around which we rally. We, as people, have rallied behind the progress in race, sexuality, gender, and on the battlefield. We should have no issue conquering this new foe. In little more than 2 decades, we've gone from a position of energy independence to one in which almost half the oil we use comes from foreign countries at prices that are going through the roof. Not only should this represent my views and ambitions, but should also be every citizen in our great nation. If we can easily commit to fighting wars for other countries, to spread our ideals of the democratic way of living, we need to set an example for them, for the other nations, for them to join us. If we can intervene, we can stop this drastic nightmare from continuing on. Congress has already done their part in the passing of the Energy Policy and Conservation Act back in 1975 and the Department of Energy just 2 years ago. For the rest of my term, and hopefully through my re-election in the next year's election, this will be my main goal. If we continue to rely on other nations for support, we are showing that we are a weak nation and that we can be conquered. Would this nation rather have places to go or end up in a new depression? If we do not act now, when will this crisis be over? How many generations will be impacted unless we stop it now? Everyone in this great nation has a tremendous role in this goal. Not only does this show patriotism in rising from disaster with your fellow citizens and show how much you care to live in our great nation, to help combat this within the introduction of deregulating our oil prices to encourage more exports than imports. I stand before you today as not only a man to his word, but as your president to see this finished and done and bring normalcy back to us. And I like to say, I have one life, one chance, and I'm going to make it count. No matter what I can do, when I can do it, I will see it through. And I will try to make the best difference for each and every one of us in this great nation. So help me, God. We will get through this as the American people, as we have done, as we are doing, and as we will continue to do until the end of my presidency and the future presidents of this great nation.